live.
Welcome, everybody, on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Friday at 4:20. My name is Mike Nabuurs, the host of the show. For the next 40 minutes, we are going to attempt to entertain you with hilarity. Of course, I wouldn't try to do that on my own. That wouldn't work out at all. So I brought some people with me. Please say hello to our panel on this Friday at 4:20. First and foremost, he's always there, way over on my right-hand side, but he's somewhere else right now. It's Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
How are you, Patrick?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I'm just curious, a quick update from you on how the playing poker with Manolis' money is going. Have we lost any of his money yet?
No, we've quadrupled our buy-in both times now.
What?
Yeah.
This is the best investment Manolis has ever made.
We quadrupled it the first time, and then we got 5 times our buy-in the second time. So we're actually doing better every week. It's actually going well, surprisingly.
Awesome.
Whose idea was this?
It was Manolis' idea.
All right. You know what? We were already talking to him. You might as well say hello to him. It's Manolis, everybody.
How you doing? How you doing, Mike?
Take anybody.
I just want to say I don't want to start the show off in a weird whatever. I just want to say rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen. Van Halen was my favorite rock band of all time.
Dude, one of our topics today. Eddie
Right.
Van Halen. I knew you'd have to have something to say. You've talked on this show endlessly about Van Halen, so we'll give you a chance to say. Go ahead, Ben. You take care of that pie.
All right, cool.
All right, we'll get back to you in a minute. You know what? Now would be an excellent time to comment on the passing of Eddie Van Halen, Manolis, since our guest had to go take a pie out of the oven.
Eddie would have wanted it that way.
Absolutely. What do you consider Eddie the greatest guitarist ever? I know I've seen some people throwing that little ad lib around, and I'm kind of like, wow, it's pretty hard to name the greatest. But to you, was he the greatest guitarist ever?
Yes, he was the greatest guitarist ever. He was one of the first guys to make a lot of different sounds that he made on a guitar before anybody else was making them. Maybe he was influenced by other guitarists, but took it a little farther.
Oh, he invented. There's some stuff he invented.
Yeah.
But there were some guys who like invented the whole art of guitar playing. So
yeah, I know if you ask Eddie, that he wouldn't take all the credit himself too. He would put it on other people.
Is Eddie your favorite Van Halen member?
Well, I mean, it was always Eddie and Dave, obviously. But the whole I loved Van Halen as a group, I felt like it was a gang of of hooligans, or what it was for me. It was like I was 13 years old. I was turning 13. My neighbor Nick Total, a good friend of mine, knew that I liked Van Halen. I knew about Jump, and he bought me the 1984 album for my birthday. And it was the first, and I didn't realize there was all these other songs. And then I listened to this album to death, and it was the first time that I felt like something could be. When you're a kid, you're like, I didn't know something could feel bigger than you. It was the first time I almost swore. Sorry. The first time I was listening to something that made me feel cool, and I felt like Van Halen was the first time I thought that something like it felt magical. Everything about it was like, it just blew my mind. It made me feel cool. It made me want to be cool. It made me felt like that I was more important in a weird way. The fact that I liked this band and knew who they were. And then go ahead.
One last quick question before we introduce our guest and get this game underway. Manolis, discovering Van Halen, bigger or smaller than the first time you discovered masturbating?
I'm gonna say bigger. It's bigger. Van Halen's bigger because masturbation lasts for 2 minutes. Van Halen's forever, dude.
Lasts forever. God bless Eddie Van Halen. Rest in peace. All right, he's a pie maker on the side, but he's also the host of a fabulous SiriusXM radio show. He's been on our show before. We're so glad to have him back. Please, everybody, say hello to our good friend, Mr. Ben Miner.
Hello.
Hello. I doubt Manolis listens to Van Halen in the shower every morning and before bed every night, though.
You're right, Ben.
I like how you give him enough respect to think he waits till he gets in the shower in the morning.
Yeah, that's what it is.
How are you, Ben? What kind of pies are you cooking, and how have you been?
I'm very well, and I am French Canadian, so I'm making tourtière, French Canadian meat pies.
Oh, nice.
Very
Really
nice.
good.
Yeah. Are you a bit of a cook, a chef, a handsy person when it comes to the kitchen? Are you the man of the house when it comes to cooking?
Yeah, man. I was a finalist on MasterChef.
That's right. I'd forgotten that about you. Oh my Lord. Oh, that is fantastic. And are you making these for Thanksgiving? Some sort of Thanksgiving feast that's coming up?
I am. I'm making tourtière to go with a beautiful turkey and a bunch of sides. Got a couple of friends coming over. It's gonna be beautiful.
That is awesome, man. Very, very cool. Yes, a finalist on Masters. I forgot about that about you. Geez, you got so many things going on. Quickly, before we get into our game, talk to us a little bit about your radio show, your SiriusXM show.
I got a bunch of them right now, man. I got the Ben and Bilal show. That's Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Canada Talks, channel 167. It's just your standard issue, drive home show with me and my buddy Bilal Vakani. Pretty cool. We had Don Cherry on last week. We had Marshall Brady on the week before that. So it's nice to step away from comics and be able to talk to other types of people, and that's pretty cool. I've also got a cannabis show called Joint Ventures, which airs weekly. I just had Daniel Carcillo on it, former NHLer. That was really cool, too. I've got Comic Stripped, and I've got the Basketball Court, which is on hiatus at the moment because basketball is done.
I am surprised you had time to do our little radio show.
Right? Yeah. I get up early, man.
All right, Ben Miner, let's play our little game. It's called Friday at 420. You remember, I don't know, remember the Plinko board there?
Yeah, the Plinko board.
The Plinko board. So I'm going to Plinko on your behalf since we're doing this over a Zoom call. You're listening to Friday at 420 on Funny 820. And it is topic number three for Ben Miner as we begin this edition of Friday at 420. This is a heavy one, man. I hope we can start. We're going to start with a heavy one. I want you to consider the time we are in right now.
Yeah.
What is your message for people? If you got the podium and you get to tell people, what's your message to them right now?
Yeah. Control the things that you can't control. You know what I mean? If I could be a cheeseball about it.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've been doing my best to stay healthy and stay fit during all this because it's one of the few things that I can maintain doing. I've got the gear at home, but you don't even need the gear. I don't know exactly what I said. I think that's a big thing.
I think that's a perfect way to sum up. You know, I mean, really, I think a lot of people, and you would probably agree with me, Ben, because you just said it, but a lot of people worry about things that are totally out of their control. So try to concentrate your time and effort on things that you can control, and the rest, you can't control it anyway. So.
Yeah, man, there's no sense going nuts over stuff that you have zero control over. You do have control over, so when you go out, you can put a mask on, you can sanitize your hands, you can be conscious of all that. Those are things you have control of, but you don't have control over other people. You don't have control over, countries next to us that are doing a really bad job of it. There's just so many things you don't have control of, but you do have control of your health and your wellness for the most part, and it's a time to focus on it, so why not do it?
Well said, Ben Miner. Manolis Zontanos, to you next. What is your message for the people right now?
Don't worry. Don't worry about hope, and realize that everything's not as bad as you think it is. So it's a little bit like what Ben's saying, but it's like you always think like things can get better, but if you really think about what the moment you're in, like things aren't really that bad at all, and you're probably exactly where you're supposed to be, and things will slowly get better by just living your life and enjoying it. And I would say drug use is more fun if you're not an addict. Don't be an addict with your drugs. Just enjoy the drugs when it's time to enjoy them.
That's the kind of messaging we want for the kids. Thank you for that.
You don't want to do. You can't do. You shouldn't do everything every day. No. Not everything. So there are things you can.
He's talking to himself now. He's convinced.
Masturbation's
drugs at once. Save some for later. Thank you, Manolis. Excellent. Well said. Coppolino, what's your message for the people?
I've always been saying this, that one day, it's proven 100% the sun is going to burn out one day. It'll be a long time from now, but it's going to happen, and the Earth is going to die, and everybody on it is going to die. So technically, nothing matters. So just chill out.
Well, if there isn't anyone who hasn't driven into the bridge abutment yet, let's keep the game going, shall we? Topic number 2, I just plinkoed for you, Patrick Coppolino. Topic number 2 on this Friday at 4:20 with our special guest, Ben Miner. A comedian you are a fan. You know how there's like music, there's songs and or artists that you're a fan of, but it's a little embarrassing. It's like, okay, well, I really do like ABBA, but I don't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
Is it the same? Could you come up with a comedian that you're kind of a fan of, but you'd really prefer people not, or it's a little bit embarrassing, or is there a comedian you can think of that you go, I really like that guy, but it's kind of like, an indulgence of mine?
They're both on the show right now.
That is interesting. I'm sure there is an answer. I mean, my answer for that would be like it wasn't weird to like this person before, but now it is. Louis C.K.
That's right.
I still like his stand-up.
No, that's good. You know what? That's that's a very true answer, though, isn't it? Because it's like, hey, who's your favorite comedian? You kind of go, well, it's not cool to like Louis C.K., but he still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's not cool to like Bill Cosby either.
Yeah.
I don't know what we do with that one. Manolis, is there a comedian that you love that's kind of a little bit embarrassing? Maybe somebody just outside of your circle where you kind of go, prop guy, but I love him.
It's weird because I did actually like Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? And I don't think and it's what's weird? It's like I have a bunch of Bill Cosby albums and I don't know what to do with them because I want to throw them away, but I don't at the same time. And then I'm like afraid if I might have like someone come over and see my albums and you're like, you have Bill Cosby albums? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna be a weird
What's
moment.
wrong with you?
But
I still have Bill Cosby albums in my base. I don't see them. They're on a shelf, but I never even thought about the fact that I still have the albums. I mean, we don't play any of it on Funny 820. They've taken all Bill Cosby off the air, but I still have the albums at home. I loved those albums when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, I shook Louis C.K.'s hand when Patrick was right beside me because we went to see him live recently. He was working on a new album, and I couldn't believe how soft his hands were. Like they were so, and I thought I had this moment like, oh, I get it.
Ben Miner's shaking his head like, wow. Really? That's what we're about. We're about Louis C.K.'s hands and how soft they are.
They're pretty soft, dude. I would have sex with Louis C.K.'s hands.
Oh, wow. Well, we know he has. Ben Miner, can you think of a comedian who is kind of, maybe something a little outside of the norm and you kind of go, yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but I think that guy makes me laugh, or that gal, or...
Yeah, it's tough, man, because if somebody makes me laugh, I have no shame in it. I mean,
okay.
One name that comes to mind, I guess some people would maybe think it's a little cheesy, but I still love Weird Al. Weird Al's still the greatest. I've seen Weird Al in concert in the last few years. I think he's just one of the great comedic artists of all time. The fact that he's been able to keep his finger on the pulse for, 30, 40 years now, he knows what hits are coming out. How are you doing this?
For so long.
Yeah.
You know what? Weird Al's an excellent answer, though. So that's exactly the kind of thing where it's kind of like he wouldn't be the first guy out of your mouth when you said, hey, who are your favorite comedians? But it is somebody who you go, wow, I can respect that talent, that ability to write those, like the words. His wordsmithing on those songs is brilliant.
Like if somebody told me Weird Al's not funny, I would stop respecting that person.
Right. I was really hoping somebody would have said Gallagher, but
I did think about that. When you said props, I was like, yeah.
I thought for sure there's going to be a Gallagher fan here somewhere. All right, let's play. This one's for Mr. Manolis. Let's give you topic number. Oh my God, that took a long time. 7. Topic number 7 on the Plinko board. Ben Miner is our special guest this edition of Friday at 4:20 with Patrick and Manolis. Mm-hmm. What's the worst thing to clean in the house? You have to clean the house. You have to tidy up. You have to clean. I want a deep clean answer here. You have to clean. What is the worst thing to have to clean in the house?
Me. I'm gonna say the toilet. The toilet, man.
Yeah.
Because you never do it, and then that one day you're like, I gotta clean this thing because it's starting to look like Train Spotting bathroom, and you know the day's gonna come where you're like you have like you're gonna want to puke, and then you're gonna not care.
I want to get that close though.
Yeah, you're gonna get close. You're not gonna care that you didn't clean it. And you're hugging this horrible toilet because that there's that weird cold air that comes from, I don't know where that magical air comes from, that comes up from inside the toilet, and you're breathing it in. You're like, and it's helping you like breathe and get your head together while you're puking every 30 seconds. But you don't care that you're hugging all this like poo particles that are around the toilet. That's my answer. The toilet.
Can we just cut back to Manolis' first answer about the whole don't do drugs every day thing?
Well, that's alcohol, but yeah.
A little context.
I have to be the example of what not to do.
All right, Patrick Coppolino, what's the worst thing in the house to clean?
Well, I was going to say toilet too, but since Manolis did, I'm going to have to go with the microwave.
Yes!
It's a pain in the ass. When you
I was thinking this morning, I was actually doing some cleaning at my house, and I actually thought, you know what, I would rather do toilets
than the
have to
microwave.
clean the microwave is disgusting. And if you look up in the roof of that microwave, that is, you just don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
Man.
And the easiest way to avoid that is just get one of those covers, but I'm too lazy. I don't have one.
I was thinking the easiest way is just to buy a new microwave.
Yeah, or just not use the microwave.
They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
It's like going, you know what, this one, heck yeah, there's no way I'm getting it cleaned now. Ben Miner, all the good answers have been taken, so we're just going to leave you with this. What's the worst thing in the house to clean, Ben Miner? You can take an answer that's already been spoken of, or speak of your own.
Regular oven. Regular oven is a real pain in the ass.
That is.
Yeah.
Do you have a what they consider a self-cleaning oven, which, by the way, is a huge lie?
Yeah, now we do. My old oven, though, was just like an old one, and yeah, it's just so gross and difficult to get all that black stuff off the bottom sometimes. And you know what I mean? You got to put that foam on.
Oh, and that stuff's like powerful, melt your eyes kind of foam, right?
You're not supposed to do it every day, though.
like me, like drugs.
Manolis has been called out for huff and oven cleaner, everybody. All right. Here we go. It's Friday at 4:20.
Huff and Oven Cleaner was Manolis' alt-rock band in 1994.
We were big for a minute.
Yeah.
All right, Manolis. This one actually is for you, Ben. Ben Miner, our special guest on this Friday at 4:20. It's Ben's topic now. We spoke earlier, and I don't know how Manolis is going to handle this question, but we spoke off the top of the show, the passing of Eddie Van Halen. And you know what? If you hadn't seen the news, the fact that like everywhere you turned auditorially, they were using Van Halen licks to kick off news shows, and the kids like, what the hell? Where the hell all this Van Halen come from all of a sudden? So Eddie Van Halen has passed away.
They're a band, right?
I'm going to ask you, Ben Miner, what celebrity death would crush you?
Oh, it just happened. Regis. That made me so sad.
Oh, Regis Philbin.
Yeah, I loved Regis, man. I always wanted to meet him, and I never got a chance to. I think that he's just like the quintessential showbiz story. Hung in there. I think if you could look up what the definition of Regis would mean, it would mean of no discernible talent, right? Like he couldn't sing. He wasn't quite a comedian. He couldn't act. He was just a charming, lovable guy. And in a world where celebrities always complain about being famous, I always appreciated that Regis would, by his accounts too, walk into restaurants in New York when no one was looking at him and go, "That's right, Regis is here," and everybody would turn her around. He loved it. I just think he was one of the greatest celebrities of all time, and that one really, really made me sad.
That's a really cool answer, and I don't think I appreciated Regis until I picked up off David Letterman how much he appreciated Regis. And like David Letterman was a super Regis fan, and then would have him on the show, and there was a real vibe there, and you kind of go, wow, this guy's more than just the morning host with Kelly Lee or whatever the hell her name is.
Oh man, he went back to the Joey Bishop show. Like he was an adjacent Rat Packer. He had such a lengthy career, and he hung in there through small market stuff, got bigger markets, and yeah, I dig him, man. He's a story of perseverance. And that hair, oh, so envious. Great hair. Great hair.
Regis Philbin, a great answer. Ben Miner, thank you for that one. Patrick Coppolino, give me a celebrity death that would crush you.
Easily, probably Jim Carrey. That would be
Jim
upsetting
Carrey.
for me, yeah. Because since I was like 5, there's no one I've looked up to more than Jim Carrey. Like, I even get sad when I realize how old he's getting. Like when he does like a talk show, and you're like, "Holy crap, he's old."
Did you see him doing Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live?
I did, yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that was very
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Still
yeah.
a super talented guy. Eh?
Yeah. I'd be really upset when he goes.
Jim Carrey, and a Canadian too, to boot. Nice.
Yeah.
Manolis, you already lost Eddie Van Halen. Is there another celebrity that you can think of that would die that would leave you just as heartbroken?
Probably Anthony Kiedis from the Chili Peppers.
Okay.
That would totally bum me out for sure.
More than Alice Cooper?
No, Alice Cooper. Like Ben was actually I don't know if you know how amazing he is. He bought me an autographed poster of like "Welcome to My Nightmare" of Alice Cooper for my birthday, and it's amazing.
That's
and
great.
I do love Alice Cooper, but I love the old Alice Cooper more. The Alice Cooper now, he
kick rocks, right?
Yeah, he could be, he charges $25 for an autograph, probably more now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think I do love Alice. I think I'd be more upset if Dennis Dunaway died than Alice Cooper.
Who's that?
He's the bass player of the Alice Cooper band.
Oh.
But he wrote Schools Out. But I think Eddie Van Halen dying was so weird, and I just want to say also, like, my condolences to Casey Corbin, is a friend of ours. He's like probably even a bigger Van Halen fan than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is. He definitely is.
Yes.
Yeah, Casey's been on the show and showed us his Van Halen shrine, and I thought,
oh my God, I went to see Van Halen, and then I started crying because Eddie made eye contact with me.
He met Eddie.
Yeah, no, he cried at a concert. Like, he's the biggest ever Van Halen fan. He had a Van Halen shrine before Eddie passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we featured it on Friday at 420 with him, and by the way, excellent impression of.
He was my roommate. He was my roommate once upon a time.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
Funny.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, shall we? Let's get out of the world of death and move on to something far more important. Oh, topic number 10. Let's see what that brings us. Topic number 10. Did you drink more during COVID? Did you drink more during alcohol sales were through the freaking roof during COVID? Did you find yourself drinking more during COVID? Patrick Coppolino.
No, I drank less than I did in the last 10 years during COVID. Remember, I stopped drinking in March, and I didn't drink again until maybe July.
And was there a specific reason for that?
I just wasn't at the club anymore. It's just I wasn't around it. And I don't usually ever drink at home. So just not leaving the house, I just didn't. I just took the opportunity to see how long I could go without drinking. And I'm back.
Manolis.
We're open again. So
Well,
it's all over.
Yeah. Patrick drinking again, everybody. Levity is back. Manolis, and this is not, forget the other drugs, alcohol. I'm just talking about alcohol right now. Did you drink
Right.
more during COVID or less?
Yeah, I did drink more at the beginning, but the bigger problem was actually watching. I never watched Mad Men before on Netflix.
Right.
It's like 8 seasons, and that was making. I think that was making more something about that show. Like, and I'm already drinking Ryan Cokes anyway, so it just I felt like you drink Ryan Cokes while you're watching the show.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in the show.
That show makes me want to smoke more.
Yeah. So I think Mad Men was a bigger problem than the alcohol, because like once I finished that season, like those 8 seasons or whatever, I thought, okay, I gotta chill out. I can't get drunk.
Did
You know
have
your
that-
brain.
Did you have that same problem when you watched Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah, exactly.
Julian's always got the Ryan Coke going.
Yeah.
Ben Miner, did you imbibe more alcohol during COVID or less or the same amount?
Not really much of a drinker.
Okay.
I'd say the drinking that I did do is generally show related, and there was no shows going on, so I'd say less.
Okay, excellent. Have you been back out doing shows since some of the places have opened up?
Yeah, man, I've done a few shows. They've been really great. I'll be doing shows this weekend at Levity. That's going to be a good time.
No, I was coming
Yeah.
up to
No,
this
I've done
segue.
a few.
That
I've
was
liked
smooth.
it. It's been great. It's been great. You forget how much you love this and how special it is to you, and you get up
Yeah.
on stage. And it's also cool, like after 6 months, to go up and have a good set because it's like, all right, I don't suck. Right? It's another reminder, like I'm decent at this. I didn't do it for 6 months. I just went up and I rocked the stage. So yeah, it's been fun being back, and it feels more special. I feel like I know it sounds weird to say, but I think that we're going to enter in a somewhat golden age of audiences, and that there's going to be a new normal. We won't be able to have the same capacities as we did before. I think we'll be able to compensate with that with streaming to people at home at a cheaper price and ways around it that way. But the people who show up, I think, are going to be so committed to having a good time. They won't be heckling. They won't be jerks. They won't show up hammered. It's going to be like theater quality audiences, people that have been looking forward to this for 2 weeks. Monday happens, they're talking about it. Tuesday, they're counting down to Friday. They've got dinner plans before. It's their thing that month because they don't go out that often. And I think the audiences are going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because it's interesting too, right? Because you can spin something like COVID, some unusual thing like a pandemic. You can spin it a lot of different ways, and obviously there's huge negatives and huge problems that it's created. But it also has given us a lot to think about as far as things we appreciate in our lives, things that all of a sudden are taken away from us. And we thought, you never would, nobody ever would have said, oh, you can never go to a comedy show again. Like you never thought that could be the case. And then it suddenly is the case. And then you go, wow, yeah, I totally agree, Ben. I think this leads to an awesome opportunity for us to say hi to your cat. On the screen, listening on the radio. What kind of cat is that?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Have you been dipping into Manolis's bag?
Get out here, man. Patrick, talk to me about Levity Comedy Club because Ben Miner is our headliner this weekend.
Yeah.
How do people get tickets to see our good buddy Ben?
LevityComedyClub.com. It's the easiest way to do it.
And we got to keep in mind, you want to get the tickets right away.
Yeah, we got
because there is a limited capacity, right?
Yeah. We're capped at 50, and we sell them at tables of 4 and tables of 2. So there's still tickets available for this weekend. So grab them now at LevityComedyClub.com.
That's you, Facebook audience. Right now, we're addressing you. Go get your tickets to go see our good buddy Ben down there. And if we sell the place out during this episode, he'll bring his cat.
Yeah. I think it's so funny, too, because I don't have... I've never had a cat, but I hear all the cat stereotypes, and I love that his cat just came in, knocked all the stuff off the table, and then left. They're such jerks.
A real ass of a cat. All right, I think we got time for one more topic here on this Friday at 4:20 with our good friend Ben Miner on Funny 820. Keep in mind, if you are listening to this on the radio, there is time still to get your tickets for tonight's show with Ben Miner at Levity Comedy Club downtown Hamilton, or again tomorrow night, Saturday night show. This topic, whose turn is it? Manolis, am I up to you?
I think so.
Here's another question that's kind of about the times we're in right now, and this one I thought was kind of a different way to look at it. Is this, and we're 9 months into this thing, 10 months into this thing, is this the worst year you've ever lived through, or have you personally had a worse year?
I've definitely had more worst years than this. Yeah. This has probably been.
Think of one off the top of your head, like a year where you went, that year was like a terrible year. This year actually has been, it's been crazy, but it's been better.
Probably the last 15 years before, all in general, trying to get somewhere as a comedian is just so hard, and it's tough to try to make money, and then things have slowly turned around in my life for a few things that have happened, and I've never even it's weird because I never thought in my head to ever I wanted to record I had a comedy album and I thought it was good enough, and I remember reaching out to Ben and trying to get it on XM radio, and then he was like, the quality's not good enough to put on the radio. So then that made me record a new album, and I didn't realize how life-changing like that process from that moment on, just things just kept getting better. You know what I mean? And I think once you're blessed, when you have a few people in your life that are also on your side and believe in you, things just gravitate. But that road to get where things turn, you just gotta just hold on, man, because you just never know when that turn is gonna happen. But trust me, it's there.
And Miner, would you consider this one of the worst years you've lived through, or have you had another year you can think of off the top of your head that was like, wow, it was a horrible year, and I don't want to go back there?
Yeah, definitely not this year. I get what everybody is going through right now, but I mean, if I could be a cheese ball, this year's been great for me. Outside of all that stuff, you know, I met the love of my life. I moved in with her. I keep getting healthier. My job is great. I don't know that this has been a good year despite the limitations to it. I feel this has been a limited year for me, less than a bad year. 2003, I'd say, was maybe a little rough. It was a year I moved to Toronto the first time. It was also a year that SARS hit, and I had been working in TV production at the time. Of course, when SARS hit, all that evaporated. So I found myself broke and trying to pursue a dream that I couldn't do at that time, and I had to move back to Ottawa 6 months later. But things work out because a year after that, I ended up speaking before the CRTC in favor of XM Radio coming to Canada, and I've been there ever since.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know what? And I think it bears, and part of the reason for this topic is also, I think, to shed some light on the fact that despite what we've gone through, this hasn't been a horrible year for everybody. I mean, any year could be a horrible year for some and not for others. Tupperware has had the best year it's ever had. Tupperware sales are up 30%. Their stock price has risen over 300%. Who saw Tupperware in 2020 having the best year ever?
If they did, they certainly kept a lid on it.
I've often said I thought Tupperware should just come up with a line of lids because that's the only part I'm missing. Patrick Coppolino, best year or worst year?
No, I agree with everyone else. This is definitely not the worst year. I mean, the most devastating thing for me was just the uncertainty when the club closed in March, because it was just after our 1 year. It was going great, and then but now we're back and things are, but besides that, honestly, it hasn't been that bad. My worst year was probably, it was like 2011. It was everything leading up to the birth of my daughter, because that year was rough. I lost my job. I lost my license. I had to get rid of my car. I had to move in with my ex's parents in the middle of nowhere just so we can start saving some money for the kid. It was the craziest year, and I was only 20 years old at that point too.
You hung off a balcony.
Yeah, I dangled.
Off how high was that?
I don't know. It was 30 stories.
Yeah,
he was really.
But I wasn't. No, it wasn't. I wasn't trying to do anything. It was just, I was just being an idiot. I was drunk. But that was a scary year. But then, my daughter was born, and that makes everything got
By the way,
better.
doesn't Patrick look like alt me? Right? If he committed a crime, I could get arrested for it.
Yeah. Even the hat.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Ben Miner, I was just thinking, if you and the redheaded lady who keeps walking in and out of your screen were to have a baby, it might look like Patrick.
Hey, why do you say that, man? That's not cool. Come on, dude.
Listen, if anything, I'm not cool. Number 4, our last topic. We're going to give this one to you, Ben Miner, as we wrap up this edition of Friday at 4:20 before you mark your return to Hamilton with performances at Levity Comedy Club Friday and Saturday night. Netflix, they're raising their prices again. I want to know, is it something you still need to have, or are you beyond Netflix and you've moved on, or you don't even care about it and never have?
So, pre-pandemic, I hadn't had any streaming services or cable for over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just kept... No, when the pandemic came, I was like, I better find something to do. So I got Netflix, I got Amazon Prime and stuff. But generally, I was just anti-binge. I felt like, and this is going to be cheeseball French dude speaking here, but I had a bit of a mantra for those couple years, which was create more than you consume. And I didn't want to.
That's cool.
get lost in these series, and everybody I'd always talk to would always just have the same conversations. Like, you see this show or that show, and it's just like, come on, man, how am I feeling? Like, come on,
Yeah.
ask me about my life. So I stopped doing it. I think, yeah, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. What are you going to do? Pay for cable? Pay out the butt for cable? It's
Yeah.
like $80 to watch news?
Yeah.
Right?
News and censored TV? Repeats?
So you are a fan of Netflix now? The pandemic has brought you around?
Yeah, I mean, I see the value in everything. There's tons of programming on it, and between everything else, if you get Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, you're still not paying as much as you would for a premier cable package. So
Right.
I think cable's dead. They're going to die a horrible death as soon as all the sporting agreements die. And yeah, it's going to be a big paradigm shift in broadcasting coming up.
Manolis Zontanos, Netflix. Are you a fan still, or were you ever, or have you still got it? And would a price hike change your mind?
But sorry, by the way, I just want to say though, did you find that? Remember Netflix started up what everybody said at first? There's like is there porno on it? Like, no, man, there's no. Then you start thinking, like, was that what it was like when libraries started up, right? Where someone's like, yo, they've got all the books. Really? Do they have like the porno books? No, dude.
Then they don't have all the books.
Yeah.
That's interesting you point that out, man, because I've often thought to myself, why does Netflix not? They don't even dance close to the line.
No, who
Like,
wants
they don't
that?
even have eroticism or whatever. They have just stayed so far away from that, and I'm going, yeah, it's kind of weird how they kept.
Until they do, they're not getting your money.
This is the guy in a leather cowboy hat. They don't have enough sexy shows.
All my money on OnlyFans. So what are you gonna do? Manolis, what about Netflix for you, pal? Are you a fan? Or?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like Netflix. You just gotta wait a while for something really good. There's a lot of crap on there, but there's a lot of good stuff there too. It's refreshing. I'll say one thing. I started watching that Schitt's Creek, and
Yep.
I had no idea it was going to be that amazing. But it's so refreshing that is it Eugene Levy's son?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's like, so he's this gay dude, and he's like in a relationship with another gay dude, and they show them making out, which is so, like, you watch Modern Family, there's a gay couple, but you never see them like actually kissing. It's refreshing that they like, oh yeah, who cares? It's like, I just think it's a good thing that's being that progressive.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to be that progressive. Like, because like every time there's if you show a couple in a TV show, and they show them making out all the time, but when it's a gay couple, they won't show them actually kissing in a lot of different kind of shows, which is,
But the repressiveness of America. I mean, they also can't even say the title of the show on live broadcast TV in America. They can't say Schitt's Creek. Unless they put up, I mean, I think it was Kimmel on the Emmy said if they put up a banner that actually spells it out the way it's spelled, he's allowed to say it. But he can't say it if they don't put the banner up. Because basically, I mean, the FCC is saying, well, you can't swear on TV. So, I mean, America is one of the most repressed societies we've got anywhere around us. So good for you for watching Schitt's Creek. It's a brilliant show. Patrick Coppolino, you're going to get the last word on Netflix, buddy.
Yeah, I'm kind of like what Ben said. I got during the pandemic, we ended up signing up for Prime and Disney Plus, and we've had Netflix forever. But you started it with the price, and I was thinking it's kind of like cigarettes. Like every time they're like, oh, if the cigarettes go up $1 more, I'm quitting, and no one does. And I'm the same way with Netflix. Is going to get to like $40. I'll still pay for it if there's still good content on it.
You have to, I mean, if you want content delivered to your home for television or whatever, then I mean, you have to find a path, right? And as Ben said, I mean, you could go cable, you could go with some sort of, satellite package, or you can go with some sort of streaming service. And if you want to add 4 or 5 streaming channels together, well, the price starts getting up there, but
It's
again,
still cheaper, yeah.
Is it as high as the cost of just getting, CBC News to your house?
Yeah, and it's all on the internet.
Crazy.
So.
Guys, it's been a blast having you hang out here with us on Friday at 4:20. Patrick Coppolino, give you a chance to say whatever you want to say here. Your turn.
Yeah, so just go to levitycomedyclub.com. We've got great shows coming up this weekend. Ben Miner Amateur Nights every Wednesday, and we got a bunch of other shows coming up as well. Follow us at Levity Comedy Club on Facebook and Instagram, and at Club Levity on Twitter. Other than that,
Ben Miner, some big surprises in store for us this Friday and Saturday night at Levity Comedy Club. Can you let the cat out of the bag? What's going to happen?
I'll do my best not to fart on stage, but other than that, just telling jokes. You know?
Any chance you'd bring a tortilla for everybody?
Oh, we'll see. It's going to get all eaten. No.
Ben, it's a blast having you on the show again. Thank you so much for doing it.
Thanks, man. Got to run, guys.
One more time, go through the reel for us quickly on your SiriusXM shows and where we can find them.
Oh, man, channel 167, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m., and then just Relax Canada, and then you can just search for Joint Ventures on the app. Give it a go.
Give it a go. Ben Miner, our best friend, thank you so much. Manolis Zontanos, take care, bud. Manolis Zontanos, you got a final word you want to say, bud?
Yeah, this Friday I'll be in Kitchener. It's Rusty Nail Comedy. It's at this place called the Crazy Canuck, downtown Kitchener. So I think it's called Crazy Canuck, and this Friday 8 o'clock show. If you're in Kitchener, come down and see the show. I'll be headlining.
Also,
fantastic.
I just want to give a shout out to Jesse Mullen. He's watching live, and he said hi guys, and he said all the dirty stuff is on Crave. So there you go, Mike.
Was that our Patreon member?
Yeah, former Patreon member.
I want to start a GoFundMe to get him enough money so then he can become our Patreon member.
Yeah, he needs a Patreon so then he can pay to our Patreon.
Well, I'll let you guys sort that one out. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here for another edition of Friday at 4:20. We thank our guest, Ben Miner, Manolis Zontanos, Patrick Coppolino. I'm Mike Nabuurs. Thanks for listening. Until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, have an awesome weekend!
Woo!